Good evening, Rain Nation. Blake Milan here, Sales Manager of North America. Thanks for jumping on our science webinar tonight. We are lucky to hear from Dr. Ted Nicholson. Now, this is some audio that you're going to hear replayed from our 2014 convention where he spoke on soul and core a little bit. He is an emergency room doctor, so we're excited to hear from him. And those of you that aren't able to listen to this live, be sure to catch the replay that will be available via this same link shortly after the webinar. So again, thank you for jumping on, and I will turn it over to Dr. Nicholson. Thanks, everyone.
Let me just say how I got here. My story is not like your story, because my story involves espionage, treason, and spying. Now, he mentioned his wife. Yes, she played a big part of this. I'll start out first with the spying. She was invited to a lunch. She spied on my schedule to make sure that I was off because she wanted me to come. She knew that I didn't want to come because I didn't want to have anything to do with anything like that. So this is where the treason came in. We live outside of Atlanta, and my wife works in Atlanta, and she happens to work at the same place that my son goes to school. They usually go to school in the morning. They drive together. She told him, drive the car back home, leave me here. Tell your dad that he's got to come pick me up. Scheming, knowing that if I come to Atlanta, where the launch was, I'd have to pick her up, and she'd say, by the way, since you already are here, why don't you accompany me to the launch? And that's what I did. I didn't do this with a happy heart. I was extremely, extremely anti-launch. I walked in, crossed my arms to let everybody know, don't talk to me. That's when I first met Russ. He was the one talking. And Russ presented his little spiel about, core, rain, all this. And I was sitting there still going, no, don't talk to me. I don't have anything to do with what you have to say. And I sat there. They finished. But one interesting thing they did at the end, and I don't know if you all do this too, they gave out samples. Now, I reluctantly took a sample. I said, but before I did that, they had given out testimonies, and they had a doctor sitting in there giving a testimony, and this doctor talked about their husband, how he had this bad high blood pressure, all these bad things, and how she gave him this stuff, and he got better, and he's just doing great. And she said, and she stumbled and fell one day, hurt her wrist, messed up her eyes, got all swollen, and she said, and this is the thing that got me. She said, and I took some of that and I put it on my eye, and my eye got better. That's when I remembered, wait, that's when I said to myself, I'm right. This is snake oil. Because back when they had the medicine wagon, the guy comes in and he says, come on up, it cures everything. Even takes rust off of screws. So when they passed out this sample, I was reluctant. I took it, went home, woke up the very next morning. Now this part, even I don't believe, but it's true. I had a problem with the shoulder that I had for 6 months. I had pain in the shoulder and decreased range of motion. When I woke up that morning after taking that the night before, I actually had more range of motion in that shoulder and less discomfort. I woke my wife up. I said, whoever told you to do this, tell them you in and I'm in too. Now, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about something else. However, I know when you woke up this morning, you were not ready to get what they call an original TED Talk. I'm Ted. You get an original TED Talk. My discussion this morning is about human physiology and nutrition. Let me just make an apology right off the bat. I apologize for all of your physicians who you go to about nutrition, and they look at you like you're crazy. I apologize. It's not their fault. You have to understand, we get less than 10% of nutrition in medical school. The ones that know about nutrition, we've gone out on our own and studied it. So I apologize up front. Please, don't feel bad about your physician. He's still knowledgeable about a lot of things, it's just not nutrition. We can't talk about human physiology without talking about the cell. As was said, we talked about the core of the intestinal system. Well, guess what? There's a core within a core. And the cell is the core of the body. Pun intended. This is the cell. I know it looks like there's a lot of things going on, but if you look at the outer aspect, it's called the plasma membrane or the cell membrane, which is one of the most important parts of the cell. You know, we actually eat to nourish the cell. I know you eat because you think you're hungry, but that's not why you're eating. You're eating so that the cell will have what it needs in order to perform its duties. Because the cell is the chemical factory for the functions of the body. Just like the gut starts it, the cell continues it. The integrity of the cell is very critical for the health of the body. Extremely critical. Because healthy cells equal healthy tissues, equal healthy organs, equals a healthy body. This is just one function of the cell membrane. It's very complex. We don't have enough time to go through all the things that the cell membrane does. But to suffice it to say, first off, you have in each adult over 30 trillion cells. That's a lot of cells. It needs a lot of nourishment. The body makes new cells every day, and it replaces the old cells. That's why you shouldn't go without eating, because then you cause the body to do things the body does not like to do. Take the stores that it has to try to keep you going. The cell membrane is like the motherboard of a computer. Command central. Let's say that the cell membrane is mostly made of fat. Now, a lot of you try to get away from fat, but if you don't have fat, your cell membrane does not function. And we already talked what happened about that. The cell membrane does two very important things. It protects your DNA, and it also provides energy for you to do everything that you do. Now, what happens when the cell is not healthy? As you can see, you get breakdown. Bad fats cause the membrane of the cell to stiffen so that things that normally would flow through the cell membrane to get to the cell cannot get there. When the cell is unhealthy, tissues are unhealthy, organs are unhealthy, and you have an unhealthy body. In a nutshell, that's disease. Nutrition are the building blocks. It gives you the raw materials so that the cell will have what is necessary to keep you healthy, because the cell is healthy. But our nutrition is declining. Unfortunately, you go to the markets, you try to get the best thing you can get so you can put it in your body. And what happens? You have GMO vegetables and fruits under the guise sometimes of organic. You're really not sure what you're getting. It used to be that you grew your own fruits and vegetables. You knew what you put in the ground. You knew what you took out of the ground. So therefore, you knew that you were eating healthy. Nowadays, that is not the case. Worse, when you get some fruit and I'm sure this probably happened to you. You bite into it, and fruit's supposed to be tasteful. There's no taste. No taste. You get a tomato, and tomato will sit there, red and white, for like 7 days with no problem. And you put that into your body and ask your body to then produce what you want it to produce so you can do what you want to do. Well, it is said that a plant-based nutrition is the best nutrition. Plant-based. It is further said that we need about 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. That's the good news. The bad news is we need 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. Now, by show of hands, how many people here daily get 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables? Let me see. Okay, I see that. Oh, no, we're not talking about with that. No. Let me see those hands again. 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. Oh, that's wonderful. Now, keep up. Keep those hands up. How many of you get 5 to 9 servings of raw fruits and vegetables? Who we got now? Oh, see that? All these people in here, we got maybe 10 people. That's interesting. Well, we got some good news. We have one solution. Because as you all already know, 2 ounces give you 8 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and you can do what you want to do without having to stop and just take it out your pocket and just go ahead and you got it. Now, why seeds? Why seeds? Well, you've heard some things as to why seeds, etc. Let's say a little bit more about seeds. Seeds are 20 times more potent than the fruit or the vegetables. I mean, after all, you take a tiny seed and you grow a big tree, big bush, big watermelon, whatever it is, from a tiny seed. Plus, seeds are easily digestible. It doesn't have to break down the things it has to do from the fruits and all. It's much easier. So, as they've talked about and everybody knows, it's made up of black cumin, made of black raspberry, Chardonnay grape, and D-ribose. Let's just look at a couple of these. Let's start out with black cumin. We've already talked about what black cumin seed does, and there's so much that we just can't cover it all here. It's great, it's wonderful, it's powerful, it's anti-inflammatory, it's cardioprotective, it's anti-cancer, and I don't think they said it today, but you probably already know it's 281 times more potent than aspirin for its anti-inflammatory properties without the side effects. Why is that important? Well, if anybody's looking at anything nowadays about medicine, you know, or should know, that the leading cause of diseases, in period, and we're talking all diseases, is chronic inflammation. And you have something that fights that with no side effects. Black raspberry, anti-cancer, antioxidant, wound healing, analgesic. That means it helps pain. Anti-inflammatory helps pains too, but analgesic, that's something you don't always get. This black raspberry, all in soul. Chardonnay grape. I got a little story to tell about this. Resveratrol, one day, a little while back, they came out with this study. The study said wine will make you heart healthy. I'm a healthy guy. My colleagues know that. They know I'm a vegetarian. They know I don't drink alcohol at all. My colleague could not wait. Ran to me with this study. Said, Ted, you like to be healthy? And he's a wine connoisseur. He has a wine cellar and all. He said, listen, I got some bottled wines I can give to your wife and you so y'all can have your heart healthy. Little glass with dinner, and you'll be good. I looked at him. I said, you know what? I'm going to pass. Because I believe that actually it's not the wine, it's the grape. And did they not come out just a few months later and say that grape juice does the same thing? That's why on Welch's grape bottle you see heart healthy. Have you seen that? Heart healthy, that's why it says that. That's why it says that. So the Chardonnay grape, which we have again in soul, helping the heart, helping everything. You can't go wrong with this stuff. D-ribose, well, anybody know what DNA is? Do you know what that's called? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Wow. Ribose. Look at that. Even helping your DNA. Giving the DNA what it needs. Core, I'm not going to spend time on core. You just had 2 great lectures on core. They told you all about the different things in core and what it does. Suffice it to say, it detoxifies, of course. It helps the liver. It helps the kidney. I mean, it has the black cumin again. So you have the anti-inflammatory. You have the other things that black cumin does. But core and soul on a daily basis will lead to health in the cell, health in the tissue, health in the organs, and health in the body. Seeds are powerful. We know this. Source of life. We know also that everything, all nutrition comes from the seed. And so what do you need to know? This is what you need to know. What can I do? What can I do to support healthy cellular nutrition? What can I do? It's simple. Give rain to the world. Give rain to the world. Give seeds to the world and make it rain.